Well, unfortunately, as the NCAA tournament gets going here, the Indiana Hoosiers are on the outside looking in. They were a bubble team down the stretch and couldn't get a win in the Big Ten tournament. And myself and Todd and Jack Ankeny, we talked about, if they beat Oregon, they might get in. If they don't, they might be on the outside. And that's what ended up happening. But that gives us an opportunity now to kind of put a bow on things, look at the roster, break down how the players did. That'll lead us into discussion about the future roster now under Darren DeVries. So lots of stuff coming. But let's go ahead and kind of close this chapter, Todd. And we'll start by talking about Kanaan Carlyle, who came over to Indiana from Stanford. What were the expectations for him? I think I might have even had some mixed reviews on what exactly he was expected to do, but what was the expectation when you guys found out he was transferring to IU?
Yeah, he was, one of many who were thought to be able to play, run the show, run the offensive show. He wasn't strictly a point guard, but yeah, he had those traits to his game. I think in a general sense, he was brought in to bolster productivity in the backcourt because Indiana had a shortage of guards the season before. They were forced to play Gabe Cupps more so than they would have otherwise, was a scrappy player but not a good offensive player. Anthony Leo, much the same way, who didn't start much in the 24 season. He did this year. But, similar kind of player who's going to give you a lot on the defensive end and not a whole lot on the offensive end. So Carlisle was brought in to kind of be one of the players to remedy that. Himself, Miles Rice, probably to a lesser extent, Bryson Tucker. So that was kind of the hope with him. And then I think from there, it was kind of a we'll see type of thing. How is he going to fit in with everybody else? What's he going to be good at in terms of fitting his game to other players' games? And then I think the idea was to kind of roll from there. None of that actually really happened. Kanaan Carlyle pretty much struggled in nearly every facet of playing on the offensive end of the floor, which kind of defeated the purpose of having him here. So I do think he was a little bit of a victim of too much I think of all the players who Indiana brought in during the offseason that people were excited about, were so talented and all that stuff, I think Kanaan Carlyle was probably the one who was really misjudged in terms of how impactful he could be, because he averaged double figures at Stanford, but he was not a good shooter. So I'm not sure why people thought he would be. But anyway, that was kind of the background on him, and unfortunately for Kanaan, just never really kind of lived up to any of that.
Was there good? I mean, did you see flashes of what people thought he might be able to bridge that gap? I mean, the things that he was supposed to be good at, did he fall short? I mean, just kind of how would you put a summary on his season?
The one thing he was relatively good at, was being an on-ball defender. And it's not that he didn't have the reputation of being a defender when he came. It's just that's not the main reason why he came. So I thought he did relatively well when he defended. I mean, to the degree that anybody was a good defender on this team, he was not the best, but he was certainly, you wouldn't worry if he was guarding somebody. But apart from that, I mean, it's kind of hard to find, you have to dig deep to find positives for Kanaan and the rest of the way he produced for the Hoosiers. I mean, on the offensive end of the floor, he just never found it. He never got his shot going. I think he had one pretty good game against South Carolina when they came in, and that's the only one that hits my memory in terms of offensive production. His shot selection wasn't very good. I mean, I think from the beginning he was trying to force the issue, and it never happened for him. He never was able to get on any kind of positive, build any positive momentum in terms of his scoring. And then, eventually Galloway got, more minutes than he did. Later on, Anthony Leo was very dependable because of his scrappiness and his defense, and Carlisle's minutes fell off as the season went along. He also got hurt in there too, so he missed a few games due to injury, which didn't help. But he, when given he was given multiple chances, and he just never really took them.
With that being said, maybe a tough grade for him. I mean, again, it's another thing you've talked about a lot, Mike Woodson's assembly of the roster. Maybe it wasn't the great fit. Maybe hard to hold an injury against a guy, but the letter grade for Kanaan Carlyle would be what for you?
Yeah, I mean, you got to grade him a little bit differently than, say, Bryson Tucker. he had played a year in college and all of that. So I just don't. It just didn't work out. I'd give him a D. I mean, I don't know how you can. I'm an easy grader, I guess, but I don't know that you can grade him any higher than that.